Number 5. TCL 6 Series 2020. While we focused our list on TVs that can handle 120Hz and 4K, we're including the TCL 6 Series QLED TV, which can hit 4K and 120Hz separately but only reaches 60Hz for UHD content. Our other TV picks are fairly expensive unless you buy the smallest models, so we wanted to include a more affordable sub-$1,000 4K TV in the mix for gamers who care more about frame rates and less about resolution. Another one of our top 10 TV picks, the TCL 6 Series can support 120 FPS in 1440p thanks to its unique THX certified game mode. That benchmark happens to be the maximum spec for the Xbox Series S, making the budget next-gen console and budget TV a match made in heaven. Number 4. LG Nano 90 65 Nano 906. Given all the success LG has enjoyed with OLEDs in recent years, it's easy to forget they also offer TVs with LCD technology. This branch of the LG family has ended up in the shadow of its ultra-slender siblings, which are also considerably sharper, more colorful, and contrast-rich. It doesn't help that LG themselves spend a lot of time telling us just how superior OLED is. The slightly disdainful attitude may now be a thing of the past. This year's new premium LCD screen, dubbed NanoCell, has received a long-awaited upgrade on the picture front. The model we tested here, the Nano 90, is one of their top models with 4K resolution. It comes in a wide range of sizes from 55 right up to a full 86 inches. Number 3. Samsung Q80T. Samsung's 2020 lineup has one HDMI 2.1 port each, though only the Q950TS, Q90T, Q80T, and Q70T have a 120Hz panel that can take full advantage of it. Of these options, we chose the Q80T as the best Samsung offering with the best balance of color quality, performance, and price. The Q80T's biggest draw for gamers is its 8.7 millisecond input lag, so insignificant that your video game avatar will look like it's wired directly to your controller. You'll typically only see a sub-10 millisecond input lag on a monitor, and Samsung only achieves this by reducing image processing. If you want blur and judder reduction, you can activate the Game Motion Plus mode and get a respectable 19.7 millisecond lag. Number 2. Sony X900H. Another TV that had HDMI 2.1, VRR, and ALLM support added retroactively to one HDMI port. The Sony X900H is also one of our top 10 best TVs, ranked just behind the Q80T. With fairly low input lag and excellent color fidelity, Sony's best TV is tailor-made for making next-gen games look photorealistic without sacrificing frames. The picture quality of the X900H is superb, particularly in 4K HDR and Dolby Vision. Packed with details and having strong backlit contrast between light and dark content, the X900H lacks the typical noise, graininess, dull blacks, or other issues we often find with LCD panels. Its only weakness is that its VA-type panel, while beautifully colorful, is also best when looked at directly and doesn't have the best viewing angles. Number 1. LG CX OLED TV. Our top pick of all the best TVs and OLED TVs available today, the LG CX OLED is an all-round powerhouse that also offers virtually all the gaming features you'll need for the best next-gen performance. For starters, all 4 of its HDMI ports are 2.1 compatible. Outside of LG TVs, most other manufacturers have only started adding HDMI 2.1 to one port via firmware updates. With the LG CX OLED, you could actually plug in both the Series X and the PS5 to their own dedicated 2.1 ports. Even if you only own one, we trust LG's 120Hz 4K performance more than the others because it was built into the TV design from the start rather than added retroactively. What particularly impressed us was that when the ALLM switched us over to game mode, we saw no noticeable drop in color or contrast performance. Now that we've shown you the best 120Hz 4K TVs out there, let's talk about a few things you should look for before buying one. Are there any true 120Hz TVs? Finding the best 120Hz 4K TVs isn't difficult because at present they're exceedingly rare. A 120Hz refresh rate is a relatively common standard for HD and QHD gaming, but you need a TV with an HDMI 2.1 port to support it on 4K TVs. Is 120Hz good for a 4K TV? Most new 4K TVs support 120Hz, but usually only at lower 1080p and or 1440p resolutions, though there are high-end 4K 120Hz TVs available as well, such as LG's new OLED TVs with HDMI 2.1. In order to make use of a 120Hz refresh rate, your device must support it too. Are 120Hz TVs really 120Hz? Many TVs today are 60Hz despite having motion rates and effective refresh rates claiming much higher numbers, including 120, 240 and more. A true 120Hz refresh rate can improve the picture quality a bit by reducing motion blur.